Lights in the darkness. A little light dispels a lot of darkness. The sages. Light. In the Bible, light has always been a symbol of holiness, goodness, knowledge, wisdom, and hope. The first utterance of creation is, "Let there be light." Light is the central metaphor for Jewish understanding of all reality, says Rabbi Shimon Appersdorf. Light in Judaism is so pervasive that it's almost overlooked. In the Bible, the glory of God is something visible, like the pillar of light that went with the Israelites as they wandered the desert, and the burning bush, which was so bright, Moses had to shield his eyes. So when the Jewish leadership changed the meaning of Hanukkah, it was natural to make it about light, with a visible symbol of light, the menorah. More about that in a minute. Hanukkah. Nairot was an ancient winter holiday in Israel, celebrating increased daylight promised by the winter solstice, and was observed in a way similar to Hanukkah. 8 flames were kindled on a fireboard in the house for 8 days, adding a flame each night. Light's association with life and darkness with death gave the holiday a feeling of rejuvenation and optimism. Nairot would have become a major Jewish holiday, but it was rejected because it had no connections to God or any association with the Exodus from Egypt. So it was not put in the Bible. And it was relegated to a folk festival until the Maccabees took power and changed the holiday's meaning for their personal ambitions. Now, this story of Hanukkah is a little bit different than one you might have heard. The Maccabees took power after they defeated Antiochus IV, who reigned over Syria, Egypt, and Palestine after the reign of the benevolent Alexander the Great. Antiochus placed a Hellenistic priest in the temple, prohibited the practice of the Jewish religion, massacred Jews, and desecrated the temple by requiring the sacrifice of pigs, not kosher, on the altar. Judah Maccabee formed an army with his 4 brothers and revolted against both the assimilation of the Jews who had adopted Hellenistic customs and the oppression by the Greek government. The revolution succeeded and the temple was rededicated. Hanukkah, which means dedication, was born. The Maccabees then took control of the government. Well, the Jewish leadership did not want to focus on the Maccabees' military might. They also did not agree with how the Maccabees took power. So 400 years later, they created the story of the miracle of the 1-day supply of holy oil, lasting 8 nights, thanks to God. The story of the miracle of lights became the central meaning of the holiday, celebrated during the darkest days of the year, with rituals taken from the pagan holiday Nairot. Hanukkah was transformed into a festival of lights, commemorated by the 9-candled menorah, making the main theme of the holiday a spiritual message about the power of light, the need for hope, finding miracles in our lives, and rededicating ourselves. Hanukkah celebrates the triumph of light over darkness and spirituality over materiality. Hanukkah is called the Festival of Lights. In the glow of the Hanukkah lights, we can find a path to the divine light and to the best in ourselves. The menorah reminds us of the miracle that no matter how dark life may be, there remains a source of light deep inside us, the divine light. The most important ritual of the holiday is lighting the menorah. According to the Kabbalah, the Jewish mysticism, 7 is the number of holiness with nature. 8 is the number of transcendence. Thus, we light 8 candles on 8 nights. The powerful quality of light, even a minimal amount, prevails over the strongest forms of darkness. As we kindle the Hanukkah flames, we rededicate ourselves to seeing and naming the blessings of life. Especially in challenging times, it strengthens and sustains us to bring awareness to the love, goodness, and beauty that fills the world. We shine a light on what is good and honor our own capacities to lift up light for the well-being of all. We are all flames on the menorah. Hanukkah focuses on meditations and practice on realizing the flame within us. The mission that is uniquely ours to spread light wherever we go. We don't just want to light the menorah, we want to be a menorah. That is our mission. To be aware of our godly soul and purpose, and to share that light, always sensitive that everyone else is also a light on the menorah. To be a lamplighter, we need to have access to the pool of oil within us, the deep resources of holiness and sanctity that are not limited by nature, but in fact are unlimited. In Jewish tradition, the candle is also thought to symbolically represent the human soul and serves as a reminder of the frailty and beauty of life. Like a human spirit, flames must breathe, change, grow, strive against the darkness, and ultimately fade away. As the flame symbolizes the soul, the candle symbolizes the body. It burns, then diminishes into nothing. The flickering of candlelight helps to remind us of the precious fragility of our life and the lives of our loved ones, life that must be embraced and cherished at all times. Today, Hanukkah, which just ended Friday, is probably one of the best known Jewish holidays because of its proximity to Christmas, even though it was considered a minor holiday in the religious worldview of the ancient rabbis. Many people think Hanukkah is the Jewish Christmas. It is not. However, secular Jews have adopted many Christmas customs and weaved them into their Hanukkah traditions. In fact, some people have called this blending Chrismaka or Hanumas, and I have a visual aid here. I got this card from a friend. You can see it. No, you can't. But it says, Merry Chrismaka. And here we have the reindeer with his menorah on his head. So in my family also, we combined rituals. We had a Christmas tree with a Star of David tree topper. My husband made it because we couldn't find a Star of David tree topper in the stores. And in back of the tree, we have a mantle, and we hung the stockings. And in front of the stockings was a big sign that said "Happy Hanukkah." On the tree itself, my husband made little menorahs, and we put up dreidels. We ate latkes and jelly donuts, and on Christmas, we had a ham. It's ironic that this holiday which has its roots in a revolution against assimilation and the suppression of the Jewish religion, has become the most assimilated secular holiday in the Jewish calendar. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Dr. Martin Luther King. So Hanukkah is about light, but we need to look at the darkness to really appreciate the light. And there has been much darkness in the world this year. Climate crises, wars, lots of hatred. Although crime has gone down in the United States, hate crimes have risen sharply. Anti-immigrant, anti-Asian, anti-LGBTQ+, anti-drag, anti-woke, anti-abortion, anti-books, anti-Semitism, and anti-Muslim. So many people and things to be against. There has especially been a staggering and unprecedented rise in anti-Semitic hate crime, both in the United States and around the world. In the United States alone, 2,031 reported acts of hate crime, a 337% increase since last year. There has also been a major increase in anti-Muslim hate crimes in the United States. 2,171 reported cases since October 7th. The increase in both tied to the war between Israel and Palestinians. And seeing the world as us and them. Why can't we all just be we? Why do we need to say, I'm for Israel, I'm for Palestine? We need to be for peace and justice for everyone. This has created a major problem in my town, known for its diversity. And Mickey can tell us more during the coffee hour. According to an opinion piece in the LA Times by Daniel Brawl, and this is an excellent piece, and I've excerpted it. If you have time, please take a look at it. Leandra may send us the full piece. In War and Peace, the fates of Israel and the Palestinians are inextricably bound together. War and conflict are almost invariably zero-sum games. What makes war so unforgiving, even oddly unifying, is that there is a shared experience of irreparable pain, loss, trauma, and destruction. Even the victor emerges a loser. The cruelty of war is that those shouldering the greatest loss are often the ones left abandoned. Adhering to the pro-Israel, pro-Palestinian binary frustrates our ability to speak with intellectual honesty and moral clarity. For too many, it is also the refusal to hold space for the other's pain out of an insecurity that it invalidates our own pain. A better future begins by correcting that notion, because a precondition for mutual peace is accepting the other's humanity. I have to admit that I had a hard time lighting Hanukkah candles this year. Since October 7th, we have been grief-stricken, not able to find light within or without. Lighting a candle feels like a betrayal of what the world has actually become, infinitely dark. And yet, not to light a candle is to refuse Hanukkah's shining promise of hope. The Hanukkah tradition tells us to place the menorah in the window, to bring light into the darkness, and to share it with everyone. But at this moment, we feel vulnerable to put our menorahs in the windows and declare our belief in illuminating darkness. I don't know about the other parts of Teaneck, but in the parts of Teaneck that I've driven through, I haven't seen any menorahs. Maybe in Judy Bellini's section. Rabbi Kohler Esser says, it feels so utterly exposed to make visible our threatened Jewishness. And yet it's a statement of radical hope, a sign of the utmost courage to dare to hope again, despite everything that has happened on and since October 7th. Hanukkah means rededication. But rededication in the face of so much that has been desecrated takes big courage. The courage to pick up endless shards and to begin, light by light, fragment by fragment, to rebuild our world. And Rabbi Yael Levi gives us this blessing. As we light the 8 candles, we affirm that everything we do matters and that our actions create the world for generations to come. In the fullness of the flames, we rededicate ourselves to living lives of service in harmony with each other and with the earth. May we act boldly and live passionately for goodness and love. And together, may we turn the world towards justice, harmony, and peace. Finally, I'd like to close with this story. The late Rabbi Hugo Grin was a child in Auschwitz. The holiday of Hanukkah came, and after fashioning a makeshift menorah, his father melted the precious margarine ration to light a wick for the first night. Young Hugo, outraged, protested to his father. How could he use the food which sustained them in the midst of such horror just to observe the holiday? Many years later, Rabbi Grin said that at that moment, his father spoke words he never forgot. His father said, "My child, we know you can live 3 days without water. You can live 3 weeks without food, but you cannot live for 3 minutes without hope." The choice for rededication to what we believe is powerful, even sacred. There are moments when all of us are afraid, when we feel hopeless and alone. Learn the lesson of Hanukkah, the holiday of rededication. No matter how many times you have done it before, once again, when you face the dark, light a candle.
If you like this video, please like us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. Thank you.